People say life can change in a single moment, but no one ever warns you that sometimes it changes quietly when a trembling girl knocks on your door in the rain, when you open it without thinking twice, and when her father, a man who could buy the whole town twice over, walks into your life the next morning. If I had known that one small act of kindness would turn my entire world upside down, I'm not sure whether I would have been afraid or grateful. Because everything began on a night when I had nothing to offer except a dry room, a warm blanket, and a heart that refused to stop being kind. No matter how much life had taken from it had been a rough evening. My shift at the repair shop ended late, and by the time I picked up my son Noah from his friend's house, the rain had turned the whole street into a river. Being a single dad was exhausting, not because of Noah, but because of everything I had to be for him. Mother, father, provider, protector. My life was a quiet cycle of working, worrying, and hoping tomorrow would be kinder. When we reached our small, worn-out house, Noah ran inside laughing, shaking off the rain. I was just about to close the door when I saw a shadow on the sidewalk. A girl, maybe 17 or 18, standing completely drenched, hugging herself, shivering. She looked lost, scared, and heartbreakingly alone. "Hey, are you okay?" I called out. She flinched like she expected harm before help. Her voice trembled when she finally answered. I'm sorry. I'm lost. My phone died. I don't know where to go." Her clothes were soaked, her shoes filled with water, and her breathing uneven. She wasn't pretending. She was genuinely terrified. "Come inside," I said without thinking. "You'll freeze out here." She hesitated, eyes darting as if calculating the risk. I stepped back and opened the door wider. "It's safe. I have a son your age. You're not alone." Slowly, she walked in and Noah peeked around the corner, eyes big. "Dad, who's that?" "A guest," I said gently. "She's cold and lost. We're helping her tonight." The girl nearly cried at that. She told us her name, Lena. She had been returning from a school event when the cab she took dropped her at the wrong intersection. Her phone died, her map crashed, and she wandered in the rain until she saw our porch light. No one deserved to be outside on a night like that. I made her hot tea while Noah found an extra blanket. She thanked us so softly it broke something inside me. She wasn't just lost outside, she was lost inside too. Later, when she fell asleep on the couch, wrapped in Noah's old blanket, I sat at the table and watched the rain pour down. I wondered who she belonged to, who might be out there searching for her, heartsick and worried. I wondered if they'd appreciate that a poor single dad with nothing but a kind heart kept their daughter safe. I never expected the answer. Morning came with a knock so loud it rattled the windows. I opened the door, expecting maybe a neighbor, maybe a worried parent. Instead, a man in an expensive suit stood there, rain boots probably worth more than my rent, eyes burning with fear and desperation. "Have you seen my daughter?" he asked, voice shaking. He held up a photo. It was her. "It was Lena. She's safe," I said quickly. "She slept here. Please come in." The moment he saw her sleeping on the couch, his entire body collapsed with relief. He went to her, brushed wet hair from her forehead, and whispered, "Thank God, oh thank God." That was when I realized this man wasn't just wealthy. He was powerful, respected, and painfully human. When Lena woke and saw him, she jumped into his arms, crying. He held her as if he hadn't slept in years, then he turned to me. "Sir," he said, "I owe you more than I can ever repay." But I didn't help her for payment. I helped her because that's what you do for someone's child. That's what I'd pray someone would do for Noah if he were ever in trouble. "I'm just glad she's safe," I said, but that was only the beginning. As soon as they left, my life slipped back into its usual rhythm, fixing cars, taking Noah to school, stretching bills, hoping nothing broke this month. I assumed that was the end of the story, yet I was wrong. 2 days later, the millionaire, whose name was Adrian, returned to my door. But this time he wasn't frantic. He was composed, thoughtful, carrying a quiet kind of determination. "I'd like to thank you properly," he said. "You already did," I replied. "Your daughter is safe. That's enough." But he shook his head. "You don't understand what you did. Lena, she hasn't trusted strangers in years. She's been through things I can't undo. But she told me she felt safe here for the first time in a long time." His voice broke slightly, and he looked down. "That matters more than any wealth I have. Before I could respond, Noah ran up behind me, tugging my shirt. Dad! Tell him about the heater. I winced. Our heater was failing, and winter was coming, but I didn't want charity. Still, Adrian noticed. Wealthy people aren't stupid. He cleared his throat. Let me help you. I don't need your money, I said sharply. My pride spoke louder than my fear. I'm not offering money, he said softly. I'm offering support. A chance. A hand, not a handout. The way he said it caught me off guard. It wasn't pity. It was respect. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, a strange friendship grew. He invited Noah and me to visit his estate, not to show off but because he wanted us to feel welcome. Noah bonded with him instantly. And Lena, she became like a sister to my son, always dropping by, always smiling a little brighter. One evening, after months of knowing each other, Adrian and I sat on his balcony overlooking acres of land I'd never dream of owning. Noah and Lena were inside playing games. You work too hard, he said. But I see the man you are. Someone should have helped you long ago. I stared at the horizon, unsure why my eyes burned. He placed a folder in front of me. I want you to run a new auto shop I'm opening. Your own place. Fair pay. Benefits. Stability for your son. I froze. My throat closed. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. This isn't charity, he said. This is gratitude. You protected my daughter. Let me protect your future. It took everything in me not to cry. Months later, my shop opened. My life changed. Not because I wanted rich connections. Not because I sought reward. But because kindness, real kindness, circles back in ways we can't predict. Sometimes you save someone's child, sometimes the child saves yours, and sometimes the world gives you more than you ever thought you deserved. All from one storm. One lost girl. One open door, and one poor single dad who never expected that helping a stranger would lead to a new life, a new family, and a future brighter than he ever imagined.